Next, we have a dynamic triangle pose. So placing your block tall side up, you're gonna put your front leg right beside it, other foot out back with the toes pointed out on the angle. Again, hinging at the hips, so hips back, back stays flat, inside hand to the block, reaching with a straight arm as much as you can to open up throughout the chest and the front of the shoulder. Then you're gonna switch. Place that hand on the block and open up the other way. So we're switching between these two for 30 seconds. Taking your time as you go to open, pausing, and then switch. Again, remind yourself, pushing the chest forward, keeping the back flat, belly button drawn in. You should also feel a bit of a stretch in that front leg. Nice work, time's up. So you're just gonna switch your stance, front leg beside, left foot back, hips back, hinge, placing the inside hand on first, and alternating for 30 seconds. Nice work, time's up. Go ahead and stand up and relax. Next, we have good mornings. So grabbing that broomstick, you're gonna grab either side of it, bringing it up over and resting it right on those upper traps. Putting your feet about hip distance apart, pressing your hips back, hinging, bringing the chest facing the ground. You want to keep your back flat, drawing the belly button in and pressing that chest forward. You also have the assistance from that broomstick to help keep the chest pressed. When you feel a good stretch in the back of your hamstrings, you're going to pause and then pressing the hips forward, bring your chest back facing, and then we're going to repeat the motion for 45 seconds. So keeping that chest pressed, hips back, heavy heels. So you want to be able to wiggle your toes. There's no weight in there compared to what's in your heels, driving the hips forward at the top. Nice work, time's up. So bringing the broomstick back and relax. Next, we're moving into the can opener stretch. You're gonna lay on your back, bringing one knee into the chest, wrapping your arms or your hands around and pulling that knee in. We're gonna hold here for 20 seconds. Okay, so now we're gonna move that knee towards the opposite shoulder, still squeezing in, pulling up slightly, ever so slightly across the torso and holding for 20 seconds. So with this one, you should feel stretch more on the outside of the glute as we've kind of moved that leg across the torso. Nice work, time's up. We're gonna switch sides. So bringing that other knee in, hugging it in nice and tight, holding for 20 seconds. Good, then drawing it slightly across, pulling it up towards that opposite shoulder, holding for 20 seconds. Time's up. Go ahead and relax. Coming up to a comfortable seated position. Next, we're moving into gate pose. You're going to start kneeling on your mat. So pressing the hips forward so you're nice and tall. One leg's being extended out, all the way straight, foot is planted. Bracing the hand, relaxing it wherever works. Your other hand is coming up, reaching, and over. We're holding the stretch on each side for 30 seconds. A good option on the stretch would just not to be reaching with the arm and just stay upright with the upper body. All right, switch sides, so release. Extend the other leg out, foot planted, leg straight, reaching up and over, holding for 30 seconds. All right, time's up. Go ahead and release and relax back on your mat. We're going into a dynamic crossover. Laying on your back on your mat. Upper body's gonna stay relaxed, arms out to the side where it's comfortable. One leg is gonna be straight while the other one's bent. You're bringing that leg across the body as far as you can. Hold for a second, and then bring it back to center and switch sides. Other leg across, hold for a second, and then switch. So we're going back and forth for 45 seconds. Awesome, time's up. Go ahead and relax and come on back up on your mat. We're moving into a frog stretch. Starting on all fours on your mat, hands underneath the shoulders. Take those knees nice and wide, right to the outsides of your mat, and you want your feet at the same width as the knees. Little walk forward of the hands, slowly sitting the hips back, letting the head release down, and the hips sink as far as you can. Resting your head on the mat if it works. Option just to go down as far as you can, or place a block underneath your forehead. We're holding here for 45 seconds. Time's up. Go ahead and release and have a seat back on your mat. We're moving into a figure 4 stretch with an added twist. Laying on your back, bringing one of your ankles onto the knee, flexing your toes up. You can, as you bring your legs in, you can either grab under on the hamstring, or if you have the range of motion, up on the shin, relaxing your upper body back and drawing the legs in. We're gonna hold here for 30 seconds. You wanna focus on taking the knee that's up and pressing it out away from you, feeling a stretch in that glute. All right, staying in the position, we're gonna let the legs fall off to the side, keeping that upper body relaxed, coming down as far as you can, and again, holding here for 30 seconds. If this is too much, go back to the original position and hold there. Time's up. Coming back to center, switching sides, drawing the legs into the body, relaxing the upper body down. Again, pressing that bent knee away from you, stretching out the glute. Again, letting those legs fall off to the side, only going down as far as what's comfortable, and holding for the final 30 seconds. Nice, right back to center, and go ahead and sit up. Next, we're moving into Pigeon Pose. So starting on all fours on your mat, bringing one leg through, nice and bent in that front leg, releasing the back one so that your foot is relaxed down. Pressing through the palms, keeping that chest upright, those hips and chest square forward. If this is too much, or an option, you can place that block right underneath that bent glute to help support your body. We're holding here for 45 seconds. If you want more of a challenge on the stretch, you can drop it down onto each forearm. That side's done, so go ahead and release. Switch, bringing that other leg through, nice and bent in that front leg, relaxing the back leg back, and again, taking that block if you need to, 45 seconds. Think about pressing through the palms, keeping that chest up nice and tall. All right, time's up. Go ahead and release and relax back on your mat. We're gonna do a TFL release. So you're coming onto your side, propping yourself up on your forearm, taking the top leg, bending it over top. You're gonna use this leg for support. You can have the bottom leg just at a comfortable bend. If you can feel where your hip bone is, you're gonna place the ball slightly to the outside of it, rotating your weight just a bit onto it, and then rolling in a circular motion, small movements right in that spot. You can kind of go between both directions for 30 seconds. We have to move around a bit just to find that super tender spot there. And again, you can push up with a foot or your arm to relieve some of the weight on the ball. All right, time's up. Go ahead and release. Switch sides. So propping on the forearm, other foot over support, soft bend in that bottom leg, right below and slightly to the outside of that hip bone. So 30 seconds. Awesome, go ahead and release and relax back on your mat.